company is Black Series Edition, and our company is Crystal Edge Technology Screens. So I go through my notifications to answer questions from my customers. I go through my notifications to deal with individuals at the end of the day that, again, we ask this question over and over again: where are your test demonstrations? Where are your tests, period? So these are individuals, again, will come on YouTube or post dumb comments under our videos saying, oh, we can do the same thing with PPG. It's a 40 bucks. Do you know we've already tested PPG? We've actually tested PPG Metallica paint. We have tested M&N, which is actually a more advanced high grade paint, silver paint. I have done so many tests on my products that stuff you guys are actually trying to repeat or trying to say you can do the same thing. No, you can't. Number one, PPG is, or PPG, whatever you call it, is a high grade silver paint. We've done Firehawk G5s, Firehawk G4s. I've done Seymour AV 1.3, Seymour AV 1.2s. We've done all different sorts of high-grade screens. DMP Supernova has a couple high-end silver screens we've actually tested also too. Daylight screens, we tested about just about every silver screen they had over there. We did Elite screens, we did their silver screens. We've done so many silver screens, it's not even funny. The problem with the silver screen is the fact that it produces a very high white level. As a matter of fact, we had a high grade. Oh, I forgot about that. The Digital One Crystal high grade silver is actually has part of M&M, which is actually a very high grade silver. It's way beyond the PPG that your PPGA that you get from Home Depot. So to be spouting out under one of my videos saying, oh, you could do the same thing with a high grade silver paint. No, this tells you at the end of the day that you don't know much about what's the word for it? Screen paints. You know nothing about screen paints. Anyone who sits there and says that a silver screen is going to be more of an advancement over a black screen, no, it's not going to happen. Silver screens don't produce contrast levels, number one, because their white levels are literally so high that they're actually higher than a physical grade screen. And I've done enough of these tests to back it up. So the question I ask is, since I know all this information, I can get on camera and talk like this because I have knowledge of this. The reason why they can't come on camera and talk about this because they have no knowledge of the very products that they sell. And I can't ask enough, where are your tests? Because when I go to your websites, there's no information there. There's nothing at all. As a matter of fact, some of you don't even have proper specification sheets explaining your information. My technology in the next couple of days will have safety material data sheets attached to it. Where are your safety material data sheets attached to your products? You don't have any because, again, it's nothing special about it. It's just basic house paint. And again, some of you have actually matched house paint at the end of the day, still continue to sell the product as we're getting caught matching house paint. And that's not considered the countless cancellations and everything else. So when we see stuff like that at the bottom, this is clearly people that are really desperate to try to, at the end of the day, label our product as something that it's not at the end of the day. Again, I can't ask this enough. Where are your test demonstrations? And when I say this is my test page. Do you see these screens we have sitting up here? These are high grade silver certified screens that can cost a customer anywhere in the price range. We're showing this off today to a couple of companies we're working with today. Anywhere in the price range of an easy $1,500 to $1,800. Matter of fact, one of them was actually displayed in one of the establishments we're at. Actually, we did bump into one, a Firehawk G4. We did bump into one of those. So again, if I can take on a Firehawk G4, a high-grade silver screen, I think a Metallica house paint is an easy win. And keep in mind, because we do so many test demonstrations, I literally don't have to go downstairs and back anything up. I got a ton of information right here that I can go, here you go, here you go, here you go. Can you do that? And you can't, because there is no test demonstrations on your products. As a matter of fact, you can't even back up the very theory of what you say your product is at the end of the day, because again, we have requested these and we never got any information back. Now, you see how I don't have to go downstairs and set up a projector? Because you know why? All my work is done. I'm finished. These are all my test demonstrations. Where are your test demonstrations? So before you get on my channel, before you start running your mouth and saying something stupid you can't back up, I can go on my archives and I can pull up several demonstrations of me painting a silver product into my screen. I've tested PPG, or PPJ, we're going to call it. I've tested M&M, which is a really high-grade silver. It's way beyond PPG. If you knew anything, you would have mentioned that one too, but you didn't. So we've done all those tests already. You think when I'm going into form sites, they're not going to bring that up? They bring it up all the time. What about a silver screen? What about a gray screen? What about how you compare against a white screen? How do you compare against certified screens? That's why we have so many tests done. But if I ask you to do a simple demonstration against slip silver, we go through all kinds of headaches just to get that done. If we go to order the product to bring it down here for testing, we go through even more headaches. We go through freaking fake emails, fake PayPal app inquiries. We go through cancel orders. We go through products coming here not being what they are. We go through complete headaches just to get an item down here for testing. So I'm going to ask you again, gentlemen, where are your tests? Because these are mine. My tests are done. Where are your tests? What's the difference between your product and certified screens? What's the difference of your product on ultra short throws, long throws, distance throw? Have you done color pattern demonstrations showing the difference between your products and color patterns, which pulls up better blues and greens and reds? What's the white level count on certain products that you have are extremely dark? What's the difference between that and everyday dark gray paint? What's the difference between that and house paint? You've only tested one product on house paint and you quit after that when that would match. You had to test every single one of them. And again, I can't express again, gentlemen, where are your tests? So you're mad at me at the end of the day. You're upset, you're angry, you're confused. I don't know what goes on in your world and really just don't care at this particular point because our product's going to the next level. You can't go there. And the reason why you can't go there, because you have no test. And guess what they ask for when you get a major distributorship contract? The first thing they ask for is safety material data codes, which you do not have. The second they ask for is you're going to have to back your product up on everything you claim it can do, and they're going to test it. If not, you don't get a contract. And you guys can't back your products. How many outdoor demonstrations do you have? Do you even have outdoor demonstrations? And we got asked this too. Do we have any demonstrations outside on a screen size over 180 inches? We got 250s. Do you have any demonstrations on 250s? None at all. Nothing at all, period. How many outdoor demonstrations do you have? You don't have any outdoor. I think one has, no. One has one demonstration outside, a little piece of cardboard or whatever on a deck. That's not going to do it. They don't want that. What's the comparison of your product? How much of a difference can you get from your product over a white screen? I've seen your demonstrations versus white screens. It doesn't come out well. You're actually literally better with the white screen. And keep in mind, I was making your products, again, I can't express this enough, before you ever existed on YouTube. I was here. So with that being said, I know your product before you know your own product. This is why all demonstrations that I see on display are done in the dark, because that particular product does the exact same thing house paint does. House paint can't be used in fully lit environments because it washes out. Where are your demonstrations on ambient light rejection technology? Oh, okay. I keep forgetting you guys clean your products, not ambient light rejection, because it can't be ambient light rejection because it doesn't work. And again, with the other one, the philosopher, let me explain something to you. You are considered to be nowhere. You literally shot yourself in the foot when you made your own product. You can't sell it because every time you sell it, you owe money. We did the math. You literally owe money when you sell a product. You didn't do it correctly. And a 4-code application, which no one's going to do at the end of the day. Companies out here don't even want to do a 4-code application. They want something fast and easy and it can be done. They don't want to spend days going through that instructional video, and we showed them the instructional video and they were laughing at it. They found it hilarious. There's no way in the world we're doing this mess. The way that paint was slopping around on the surface, it wasn't even connected. He said, no, we're not doing it. I'm wasting no time on that. It's a mess. Even everything you said in the video by a professional certified painter that was watching demonstration was laughing. Why is he sticking water in the product? Was he thinning it out? What's he doing that for? They knew what you were doing. So it's nothing new. You guys don't know what you're doing. Where are your demonstrations at, gentlemen? Tabletop demonstrations, you don't have. Outdoor demonstrations, you don't have. So again, before you try to criticize my work, make sure that your work is tested, because it's not tested. I told you, cancel receipts and all that stuff is going to come back to bite you in the face. You're getting blackballed as we're out here. We got all your stuff on file, all your stuff on record. I can show it to any company, any corporation, any business to stay away from you. Because again, we, from personal experience of what we had with you between the curse words and the carrying on and acting up and stuff you guys have been doing, I told you, come back to bite you in the face. Memes and all that stuff. We're showing companies all that stuff so they can see what the kind of people you guys are at the end of the day. Remember, we're online, but now we're outside too. This is why I tell you, keep your personal feelings at the door and be professional. So again, where are your test demonstrations? I'm not going to bother wasting my time to go in and look for this stuff because we know it's not there. I gave you plenty enough time when I was doing this business, and I sat there and said, gave you challenges to complete, never done. We asked for multiple test demonstrations. One did one of them. He failed miserably in the test demonstration, still continues to sell the product on the website after finding out that the product matched the house paint. We show that demonstration quite often. So again, they're not interested at all, period. You got to come up with demonstrations like this, gentlemen. This is what you need to back your products. Look at 1,000 lumen projector. You see how much light's in that environment? I've seen the lighting in your environments. It's extremely dark. Some of you guys are faking your environments. Now, to sit there and say that my environments are fake, yeah, no, that's not going to happen. I'm sorry. I literally do so many demonstrations in fully lit environments. People literally scream at me to turn the lights out. You guys, your environments are completely fake and definitely fake. So no, there's nowhere in the world. And again, like I said, that gray screen paint product, we used to make it. So I know the reaction, how that would have in a fully lit environment. Oh, here's another demonstration. Here's the one we actually did a white surface and black surface at the same time on our product. Some of y'all, when I go to your navigation pages at the top, you only have two things up there. You have shop and home. That's it. Because you can't put anything else up there because you don't know your products. Now this is my marketplace. You want to match wits at the end of the day. You match my website to yours, which we were doing that online with a couple of business associates, and they were looking through your website, and they found it to be very unprofessional, extremely unprofessional. There was a site, your product is considered to be a joke. I know online you want to make yourself, this is a real world out here that we do business with from time to time. And when we post into your website, I said, look at this website right here. This is why you don't buy from people who don't know what they're talking about. They go through your specification sheet. Where's the rest of the page? It doesn't have a rest of the page. This is how your product is supposed to be displayed. Matter of fact, I forgot to ask. Do you have projector mapping technology? No, you don't. Because you have house paint. House paint doesn't work well with projecting mapping technology. That gray stuff doesn't work. There's our white level demonstrations. We have window technology. You don't have that. You don't have enough test demonstrations for that. So no floor for no. I keep forgetting you guys don't do specifications because you don't know how to work your products. I don't know how the other one. Oh, I've seen that. He has a black screen paint that can't be used with an ultra short throw projector. How does that work? How do you have a black screen paint that doesn't work with ultra short throw? Ours do. Ours don't have a problem with them. I got demonstrations literally all over my website with ultra short throw projectors. Okay. What happens when you put oil in paint? It hot spots. Let's see which one I want to go to. Let's go to the Fusion Gamer. Now, again, my specification sheets alone will cover your entire website. Do you know how many words I have in a specification sheet? Over 7,000. You know why I can put all this in here? Because I have tests under my products. You don't have any tests. Got some tests for you. Now, since you got nothing better to do with your time, and I got things I'm doing out here, and you're going to be still online crying and whining like a little child, let me explain some things that you need to do. And I've told you this before. Number one, have tests on your products. You need to go and get PPJ, Bear. Oh, I forgot you did do those. You got rid of Bear. Well, you got to do it again. Bear Silver Screen. Matter of fact, now let's bring in PPJ Silver. Let's bring in M&M, which is another high-grade silver. You need about 9 to 10 certified screens. You need to have a low entry-level ultra short throw because you have to have a short that people can relate to. You're going to need a 1,000 lumen projector to show the minimum of lumens the screen can actually pick up on. 2,200 lumens is pretty sad. We pick up at 1,000 and we're black screens. So you're a gray screen and you pick up at 22, we can do it at 1,000 and black and back it up with tons of demonstrations, which you can't do. Let's see, you have to do the certifies. Well, you couldn't do a basic slip silver demonstration, which was extremely easy. And basically, the only thing we asked and required in the test, which you're going to have to do either way, you don't have a choice. If you're dealing with a company, that question is going to come up. What's the difference of me buying that great product or just going over to Home Depot and just picking up some bare silver screen or any form of great product? What's the difference? So you're going to have to show the difference of your product, and you're going to have to show a huge massive between night and day. Not a bump, not a hiccup, because they don't want to see that at all, period. See, the problem with you have, gentlemen, is that the reason why you can't make it out here, and I'll tell you why. Because when you're online, you can fool people. You can get on there and you can fool the individual, and you're hoping to get the individual that's not like me. You want the person who doesn't know much about home theater. That's the person you can trick and fool. But a person like me at the end of the day is a person you don't want to do business with because I'm the one that's going to ask all the questions that you don't want to hear at the end of the day because these are questions you can't answer. And the reason why we know you can't answer those questions because you know the reason why we gave you those challenges, it wasn't to show that our product was better. Yeah, that too. But it was to see how much information you knew. That's what those challenges were for. And the fact that you couldn't complete simple basic tasks in home theater screen paint clearly shows us that you don't know what you're doing. Now, when you're out here, guess what kind of people you bump into? A million of my kind. When you go to storefronts and businesses and establishments, these are people going to ask all those questions. And that's going to be a problem for you because that's not what you want. You want someone you can manipulate and say, you have to use this in a dark environment. You have to use this caliber projector. You have to calibrate the projector. That's what you want. You don't want people like me. People like me will question your stuff. That's where it scares you. That's why you can only go by so far. If you're eating online, you can only go by so far. That's why your policy is set up that way, where if an item is landed on your front door, they can't get their money back. They can't even get an exchange. If they open it, they can't even get an exchange in fear that maybe they might bump into one of these videos or get an idea in their head to think, I wonder how close this would come to matching everyday house paint. Then you'd have a problem on your hands. That's why the policy is set up that way. Or they read through your shipping policy too. They thought it was downright awful. They would never do business with somebody who has a policy like that. Now, let me see. Again, your specification sheet. Where's your specification sheet at? Nothing there at all. Every single demonstration I've seen, you guys talk about how your products can be used in fully lit environments, but yet marked on your web pages you have not ambient light rejection. The other one has to be used in an ambient light controlled environment on every single page, but yet you guys are saying you're the same as us. I don't think so. This is why we give you the challenges. Can you even match? Okay, put it this way. I'm not going to give you a challenge. It's a waste of time. Try to match the entire test demonstration page that I have right here on this site. Everything. Do every single video on your product. Every single one. You can't. Because again, you couldn't even, you already did one demonstration. That thing was a nightmare for a particular individual, it was a nightmare. But match my test demonstration page. Match it. I got an entire page dedicated to this, which means you're going to have to go into your navigation menu and you're going to have to basically design a page that says test demonstration. And I mean, not the same dark environment on the same projector over and over and over again, because that's all I see in your picture demonstrations next to your products. Just a lie, telling your customers that they're going to be able to get that same darker shade of gray if they use any other projector. That's a lie. Did you explain to your customers what projector you're using in your demonstration and how much it runs for? All right, and you explain to your customers that the images that they're seeing is coming from that particular projector? Did you say, hey, look, this is a high-end projector, and this is how the pictures are coming out this way? If you told your customers that they're going to receive the exact same image on any projector, just the same as the P2, that would be a complete lie. We all know that. So how are you explaining this to them? Are you saying that image is coming from the paints doing that? If you're saying that, that's a lie. Because again, we've seen the comparison on the Epson 955WH, and it doesn't look the same thing as a $3,000 projector, or 33 at that particular time. So what are you telling them? Because if you're getting on camera and you're telling that the quality that they're seeing is coming from the paint, and the paint's doing that, you're going to have to show a demonstration of your product on a much lower end projector, and you're going to have to do a side by side to show that they're both reacting the same way or close to similar being the same way. And keep in mind, when you do this demonstration, you're going to have to do this demonstration against products that you don't want to go near at the end of the day, which is gray screen paint products. See, this is where it gets complicated for you gentlemen. Not only do you have to do a side-by-side with two different projectors of two different calibers, but then you have to show two different products up there too also. We have to do black paint on our behalf. You're going to have to do gray, because you have to show the customer at the end of the day that not only can your product maintain a much better image, even if the projector is cheaper or expensive, but it can outperform the gray product that they can pretty much pick up or at a Home Depot or Lowe's at the same time. And when you do this demonstration, you can't just show pretty colors flashing across the screen. You have to do solid colors of blue, red, and green. So that way the customer can get a really fair understanding of how blue is going to react, how green's going to react, how yellow's going to react. That's why we do solid colors, so they can see this. If we do a bunch of camouflage colors, they can't see it because it's all camouflage in different colors. That's why you do the solid colors. Then you do your white levels. Then when you do your contrast levels, and listen carefully, I get sick and tired of watching these so-called fake contrast demonstrations in these poorly dark environments. You have to do this in a fully lit environment. The problem is a gray screen can't pick up in a fully lit environment displaying a contrast level. It has to be done in the dark, because that's the best way it can pull its contrast. So you're going to have to do those demonstrations correctly. Now, you see the questions I just asked you? Any legit distributor is going to question that. And not only going to question that, they're going to test the product. That's what they're going to do. And the reason why is because there's no way in the world that they're going to get sued at the end of the day for fraud, because you can't back up the product. But as for that whole doing the same thing with PPG and PPJ, no, you can't do the same thing. It's a high-grade silver paint. It can't see contrast. As a matter of fact, the Digital One Crystal Screen Paint Elite is a high-grade silver paint. And guess what? It doesn't pick up. Oh my God, you guys are so late. I have no idea where you guys get your questionnaires from. You got a big wheel in your house, you just spin it and just whatever comes up, that's what you go to. We do literally have done so much testing on our products. I don't even have to dig anything up. I can go to anywhere in my archives and pull it up. If you're talking about, one guy with the philosopher was talking about ambient light projection. You don't know jack about ambient light projection. The same Ultimate GT and Ultimate GT and Ultimate GT 55 own both projectors. Went outside and did a demonstration on a 140-inch screen outside, and you're inside ducking and dodging light, talking about look at the contrast. Nobody, no. I did that outside. As a matter of fact, type that in. I'm the only one who has that when you type it in. Nobody else has it. I have it. When you type in outdoor projection screens, we have it. Look at this. 6 years ago, bare silver screen versus crystal projectile. Been there, done this stuff already 6 years ago. Everything you guys talk about, we have done already. Even the very house paint that you're pushing and trying to get people to buy, we've already had it already 10 years ago. You're late. You are late to the party. You've been late to the party. So the question comes up again. Where are your test demonstrations? This is my product versus bare silver screen again. Where are your test demonstrations at? You know how many years? That's 5 years ago. We've done all these tests already. Where are your tests at? Oh yeah, don't have any at all. Now, I'm going to tell you right from the door, PPJ or PPM&M is much better than a gray paint. Due to the fact that it's going to be to pick up a much better and higher white level. You guys are ranting on camera about how your products pull a high white level. Let me explain something to you. No, you do not pull a high white level. A silver screen pulls a much higher white level than a gray screen. And with that being said, as the silver screen pulls the highest white level, it's going to have a very difficult time maintaining contrast and color, which we displayed multiple times on certified screens, and we've done these on multiple different versions of silver screens. As a matter of fact, I even designed my own version of silver screen to go against one of our own screens to show you. So again, just trying to get lucky with something. But until then, you know, like I said, you test. Where are your tests? Because you can't go to any one of these, what do you call it? You can't go to any one of these big time distributors and say my product is blah, 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 and blah, 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 blah. They're going to say, you're going to have to back this up. And that's what you're going to have to do. If you can't back it up, well, you just don't get one. That's all to it. Let me see. I find it interesting that as we're doing these demonstrations, you know, our test demonstrations, you guys are still doing the same demonstrations in the dark, talking about things you have no idea what you're talking about. Same stuff. See right here, if I sit there and say that under my digital and crystal screen paint technology, this is the black technology we first started off with, that we had this technology before you guys ever existed on YouTube. So what happened then? That's my products. These are all beta testers under our products. Can you do that? You can't do that. This is all us. Well, not this guy. We've done all that stuff already. You guys are late to the party. You're very late to the party. If you're going to suggest to people that our products do the same thing for a $40 house paint, $40 house paint M&M or PPG or PPJ, whatever we call it, we've done those tests already. I've done those tests not for you. I've done those tests when I go to form sites. These questions come up all the time. As a matter of fact, you can't even go into a form site with that mess you guys got it in the day because, again, no one's going to buy that nonsense. No one's going to buy that four code application stacking system. No one's going to buy that crap. My gray screen paint can pull a contrast level equal to a black screen. To get laughed out of the room. No one's going to ask you to prove it. Just like I've been asking you for 2 and 3 years to prove it, and you guys haven't been to prove anything. All right, you guys continue to live in your fantasy land of screen paint products that you can't even back up at the end of the day. Like I said, the other guy calls himself making a black screen paint. It's not even ultra short though compatible. How is that possible? You're not ultra short though compatible on a black paint. Products come up way too dark. And where are your tests? Matter of fact, the philosopher, where are your test demonstrations on your products? Not only him, where are your test demonstrations? I haven't seen one test demonstration anywhere on YouTube, nowhere at all, period. And at that, I haven't even seen any customers. None at all. Nothing. And this is coming from an individual who, again, I have more experience than you on screen paint products. Way beyond yours. Way beyond. This is the reason why you canceled all your orders. This is the reason why you've never placed an order from me, period. For the other one who's running his mouth talking about how an OLED TV, first things first, buddy, at the end of the day, let me explain something to you. You don't know jack at all, period. You really don't. This is Wake 5, who got caught with the fake receipts. Don't worry, gentlemen. I want you to calm down and relax. At the end of the year, you'll be coming to court soon. You're very anxious. People I got watching you have been watching your channels, watching your reactions. I got attorneys watching you guys, and you've been extremely anxious. Calm down. You'll get your day in court very soon. But until then, your accusations, I'm sorry, gentlemen, are wrong. Because again, we can back our products and you can't. We've been to your sites multiple times today. And that stacking system, we had a few people. One guy said, "Can he back this?" And I was like, "No, apparently he can't." Because we've tried to place orders for the product. And that's the first thing I asked is, did you place orders? Did you try to get the product? Did you test it yourself? We couldn't. All the orders were canceled out. Showed them all the canceled orders, everything. They weren't interested at all, period. They don't even want to go near it with a 10-foot pole. So you did your own damage to yourself. You put the orders through. Now, I got to get back to work because I have conversion to do. I'm converting some of this stuff on the Crystal Edge page. We are going to be converting that to a form of, and keep in mind, gentlemen, I have silver technology, I have gunmetal technology, I have just about all that, and I have every test to back up everything I've ever developed and made. You guys, on the other hand, don't have that. So we're going to be converting the Crystal Edge page into a high-grade silver and gray page. So pretty much it's going to deal with the, gray screen paints that we were developing back in the day. Because we want one page dedicated for silvers, grays, gunmetal, stuff like that. And we want one page dedicated for black technology. So that's what the digital one is going to be converted to. Oh, sorry, the Crystal one, Crystal Edge technology screen is going to be converted to for silver, for that form of technology, because then we have the best of both worlds, and that's what we want to do. Until then, I'm going to ask this to you one more time. Gentlemen, where are your test demonstrations? Before you question my work, before you question my environments, try to at least complete a decent demonstration of not tricking and trying to fool the customer to believe that your product actually works when it doesn't work. If your product did work, we would have your product down here and it would be tested, but it's not, because we got nothing but cancellations from both of you. You can't back your products up at all, period. They do not work. I've been around YouTube longer than you two have. I have made your products on so many different levels. It's not even funny. Your products don't work. All right, with that being said, I got to get back to work.